my white. If anybody out there, talk to me. Let me know where you're from. Don't have any viewers yet. This will be shared on Facebook and YouTube. So for you people on there that don't know about Periscope, people can talk to you and they can send you hearts and things like that. We'll get us a nice blue sky started here. Get a little water on there. I like the pale blue skies. We'll paint we'll try to paint Natural Bridge. How about that? Let's paint Natural Bridge, Kentucky. Sounds like a good fun thing to do. I've actually never tried to paint it. So I'm really taking a big chance here. I'm just painting on this from stuff you get at Lowe's to put in buildings. It's some kind of a cardboard stuff. Forgot the name of it. I'm sure there's some kind of name for it. I most of the time paint on canvases, but this is just something I'll probably give away. And I'm using acrylic paint today. This is pretty easy stuff. I gessoed these boards back a while back. And always on the horizon I make it a little lighter. Okay? And what we'll do is we'll blend this once I get everything on here. Make this horizon real nice and bright. We'll put a few clouds in, stuff, just to make it look really soft and pretty. We'll make this autumn painting of Natural Bridge, Kentucky. I'm here in Kentucky. I just went to Natural Bridge last year. It was really, really a lot of fun. I rode my motorcycle down there, and rode on the sky lift, and I'm actually afraid of heights. That was a lot of fun. And we're going to paint this painting pretty quick, okay? So if you're worried about having time to watch this all the way through, you're going to be able to. But you can always replay it. I don't like dark blue skies. They just don't look natural. I always make my skies a little pale. And right here at the very bottom, I will put a big bright streak across. This is where people will be walking on the bridge top, right across through here. What we will do, I always like to have having a little bit of very, very soft, distant clouds just coming over the horizon, just to give myself some depth. And that's not working. So we'll get a little more aggressive here. I like using gesso as my clouds also. A lot of people don't do that. But I'm able to control it really well that way. Now all I do in my clouds is I just take a little bit of this on my brush, just a little gesso, put it on the edge, and I'll start making some really, really faint clouds back here, just little streaks, like that. As I come closer, they get a little bigger and a little thicker. And also you want to make them real faint by just going like this, kind of blend them out. Get a little more gesso here. And I don't get real complicated with this stuff. I'm using a little old baking pan here. That's what I'm using for my paints. I just keep it simple. And the other thing I've got here is a plastic pie plate. This will give us a little sense of depth in this painting. I always like to make my paintings look really peaceful and soft. I don't like harsh paintings with a lot of noise. When you look at them every day on the wall, you want it to be something that refreshes you. Something that gives you comfort, peace. See, you notice I'm getting up here and I'm getting a little bit bolder and bigger. This will give us a sense of depth. We'll make them a little bolder up close here. And they can go right off the page here. Now, that looks pretty good. Let's leave that. Blend them a little bit, just soften them up. All right. Don't want to take too much time here. Now, what we'll start on now is the bridge. And down here in the bottom, we can just sort of put some dirty, dark stuff down there. Okay? So we'll get a little bit of black. Just a little. Don't want to overdo it. We'll get our hooker's green here. We're going to make our shadow color sort of a green cast, a greenish gray cast down here on the ground. It's just going to be a dirty green, sort of. Put a little white in there. We don't want it to be too dark. We want it to have a gray cast. And we'll just sort of block in all this down here, because this is all going to be hidden in trees. And we just want to darken it so there'll be shadow there. Kind of sniffing because I got all this pollen floating around out here on the porch. I've never done this painting thing before in front of people, and I got to thinking, no one's ever seen me actually paint a painting. They may doubt that I even do it. I've probably painted 100 paintings, I guess. I didn't start painting until I was 52. And believe it or not, I'm actually extremely colorful. But most people don't know it because I can fool them. And the reason I'm telling you this, I could have kept that a secret for the rest of my life. But you know what? I want to help somebody. I want to encourage somebody to start doing this, because it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Now we're going to have this natural bridge up in this area and down over here. So we just want to get real green right here in the center. We want to make this look really nice and dark. Like this. That's working for us now. Had a little too much water in the brush there. Put a few big trees and stuff coming over the sides here. Make it fun. Alright. We want to put a few little faint hues right back in here. I kind of got a little ahead of myself. So let's put some faint little trees back in there. And we can paint right over top of them. So we'll put some little Kentucky hills back in here, alright? What we want to do is we want to sort of make this greenish, sort of a really light green, just sort of faintly. May have screwed up. We can always fix it. Nothing's permanent, okay? We can always fix it. But what you want to do here is allow the tops of your brushes to make it look like there's trees out there, okay? And we will get a little of this blue in there too. Give it a sort of a grayish tint. I want to make it look like they're off in the distance back there somewhere. Far off in the distance. A little water in. Might do a little better. There we go. Yeah, it's working. Then you can kind of just drag along the top and make all this look kind of uneven, as if there's trees out there sticking up here and there. And sorry about getting in front of the camera. Yeah. We'll cover all that over here up. You might add just a little color to that later. Just to give it a little bit of something. But this is going to be the top of our bridge here. So now we want to get some I'm going to have to go get some burnt sienna. Be right back. We're just roughing stuff in. Okay, I'm back. Hope you're having fun. And what we're going to do is we're going to block in and rough in our bridge, our natural bridge. Okay? And we're going to block it in using burnt sienna and black to give us a shadow color. Okay? So we'll start right in here and we'll just start blocking it in. And we're going to really rough this rock up using a knife. This rock continues down on each side. Comes down over here. And we will put trees and stuff in here. But we still have to have something back there. And a lot of fun. It's a great way to relax. I'm retired. I worked for years in a factory here in Kentucky. After 39 and a half years, I retired. And it was pretty intense sometimes, but I got through it. I raised a family, and I was retired 10 months, and my wife divorced me suddenly, without any warning. Broke my heart. Yeah, now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. You always want to get back and kind of look at your work and see how you're doing. And you might have to make a little change. This natural bridge is an awesome place. It is gorgeous down there. I recommend anybody who can to go there. I don't have any viewers. Everybody's at work, I guess. That's a bad thing about being retired, is everybody's at work. But it's okay. It's okay. Once people figure out that you're doing this, they might join in. If I remember, there's a big slab of rock right there. We'll fix that in there. Painting is a very, very relaxing thing to do. Very relaxing. And this will take off once we block in. Believe it or not, blocking in is the slowest part of the painting. Just kind of putting in what you're going to have, okay? That is the slowest part of a painting. Then, highlighting is easy if you know what you're doing. And this painting will be done in just really unbelievably quick. You will not believe it. You'll not be able to believe it. You will not be able to believe how fast this will get done after we get started here. Now, we're going to do our bridge and get all the details in on it now. And it'll go pretty quick. But we got to get us a few colors here ready. So we're going to have about 3 or 4 colors that we're going to do. And we'll just sort of blend them in. And we'll start out with black, and this is going to be cracks, the shadowy things in the rocks. So we'll just go sideways like this, like that, and you just go like that. Try not to scratch it, but if you do, you can just now up on the top area there, that's where it's flat and people are walking. So we won't do this up there. We'll highlight it with some other colors. You can mix a little sienna in there, because that's we're going to anyway. Here in Kentucky, our rocks have layers, and you can actually see layers in the rock. A lot happened here. The Appalachian Mountains are some of the oldest they are, and we're supposed to be the oldest place in the world right here in Kentucky. And this is why we have all the coal and all that stuff. Trying to mix me up a color over here on the side with this putty knife. Mixing in a little white. White and black. Give me a highlight color. I got to continue to put this other stuff on there first. I'll tell you a secret about painting. Watch the wind. Watch the wind. I'm out here on this porch. What I was getting ready to say is, paint your paintings, if you're using acrylic, lighter than you anticipate. Always go lighter than you think you need to, because it will darken on its own. And you'll paint something and be so proud of it, so happy. And the next day, when you wake up, it's gotten dark on you. And you'll be so disappointed. So always paint it a little lighter than you thought you needed to. Yeah, it's starting to work for us, folks. Starting to work. see those colors that I just put on here, and they've already gotten so dark you can't hardly see them. That's the sad thing about acrylics. But you know what? We had fun anyway. We had fun doing it. Yeah, if you get a chance, go to the Red River Gorge area here in Kentucky. I recommend it to anybody. It is so gorgeous down there, and so it's like you're in prehistoric, which you really kind of are. But it's just hard to describe. It's really hard to describe. It's hard to describe unless you actually came here. Now right here on top, we want to really emphasize the top. Just where everyone's walking. We'll put it a little lighter because that's where the light is hitting. And we'll put it a little more pronounced. Well, I hope you're enjoying this. I don't have any viewers. Like I said, it's in the middle of the day. Because of a night, I make Periscope broadcast of music. And I've got a few followers that tune in every night at 8 o'clock. I play music, because I'm a musician. And tune into that if you want to. People seem to enjoy it. Starting to take shape, folks. Looking pretty good. Natural Bridge, Kentucky. Awesome place. Now down in this area it's kind of dark, so we won't get too freaked out down there. We want there to be shadows down in there. But up here on top, we will lighten up here. Make it look nice and marbly and nice and sparkly, especially right here in the center where people are walking. And we'll have trees sparkling, popping. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. I guarantee. Yep. Gonna look great. Looking pretty good. When we get the trees all tapped in and stuff, that's when it's really going to pop and look good. And you'll be able to see what I'm actually doing here. We want the eye to go to the center here, so we'll kind of highlight all this a little better right in here in the center so that your eye will travel to the center. And the trick to rocks is to have you lots of variations of colors. Start out with your darkest first. Keep working lighter and lighter so that everything kind of looks three-dimensional. And it looks like lights dancing off of certain rocks. And it has a, it kind of jumps out at you. Down there, the Red River Gorge, it's just a big splash of color. There's just color everywhere. And it's like I said, it's just the most awesome place. I actually zip lined across it. You can do that. It's called the Zip Line Tours, and you can look it up on the internet. Zip Line Tours. It's very safe, and you actually get the zip line 5 times. 5 times. I want to darken up around the bottom here. So let's darken up a little around the bottom. Give this a look of 3 dimensions, and something's going on. Because painting is nothing but tricking the eye. Give it a rugged look down there. Real rugged look, like something's poking out down there. We'll make this side look like it's getting just a little bit of light down here. Oh yeah, baby. It's starting to really look good. Starting to really pop. I really like these knives. I really like these putty knives. kind of make it pronounced right here on this edge. And also, when you're doing this, make sure you kind of pull off all the little extra doodads that try to hang onto your knife. You want your painting to look really, really clean looking. You want it to be clean. You don't want to look like a big garble. I've got a ways to go here. I'm going to try to get this done with a little bit of water. That was it. That was what I needed. Our rocks are sort of a tricolor here in Kentucky. There's all kinds of rocks in Kentucky. And looks pretty good. Really do believe so. Yeah. Looking good, folks. Of course, I'm sure there's some people out there right now watching me and they're thinking, what an idiot. Because you know why? I'm not professional. But I really don't worry about those people. Because I had nothing when I started out. Like I told you at the beginning, I'm really, really colorblind. So I had nothing to lose, only to gain. So what I decided to do is just go for it, not worry about all the skeptics and all the critics, because they're going to always be there, no matter what. No matter what. They're always going to be there. And so you got to just move forward and not worry about it. We're going to get over here now next to this edge. We're going to start really, really dressing this up. This is what will be seen mostly after we put on the trees. It's this edge part here. Not so much over on the other part. So we're going to really start now focusing on down here. Getting this nice and pretty. And like I told you earlier, we want our eye to go right here, right in the center. I used to sit around when I was a kid and imagine that I could paint a painting. I'm sure you did that too. All kids dream. But when I was colorblind, I knew I had a bad handicap right off the bat. And so I always told myself I couldn't do it. And I would talk myself out of actually doing it then and cheat myself. Boy, it's looking good. You wait till I get them trees in there. It'll blow your freaking mind. Now get this water going up here on top of this rim where people walk, and we will make it smoother Man, talk about looking nice and pretty. Just touch this. Now, if you do that, you can actually wipe it off real quick. And where we're painters and we're at the very beginning, we'll just touch that up. But now the wind's starting to kick up and work against me here. No big deal. Don't freak. Don't freak. You know what the beauty of a sky like that is? Put a cloud in there. Ta-da! Put a little white on it. Yeah, look. Isn't that nice? Actually put a little color in it too. Yeah, we got us a little sky with some color. Thanks, Wynn. Appreciate that. Now, let's start tapping in some trees. Okay? First, I want to put a big, rotten tree right here. Or a big tree, anyway. So let's find the proper brush to do that with. Right here. Get us a little water. And we'll come up from down here somewhere where you can't tell where it's coming from. And we'll come up. We want this to be a pretty good sized tree. Because the thing about the Red River Gorge, it's an old place, okay? We'll get it right up like that. So the trees down there is fairly old. We'll dress this tree up really, really good. So don't freak out. Don't freak out. Everything's going to be just perfect. Now I'll get a different brush for the rest of it. But first I got to darken that up a little bit more. I've got rocks showing through down here. There we go. But we can take and scratch out some bark on it. Make this look real. Now I'm 62 and I'm 63. But I'm getting older. And I'll shake a little bit, just a little bit. And that's a bummer. But guess what? When you're doing a tree, it works in your favor. Because you can just wiggle and squiggle these little limbs. Because everything don't grow in a straight line in nature. Very few times. And the more nervouser you make this look, actually the better it is. leaves over that. I'm just sort of giving you something to work with. You're painting along with me. We'll put some little tree limbs out here, and we'll tap in some leaves. Okay? We're just trying to make us a body. Just trying to create a body. Put a little bark on this tree by just using really short, scratchy motions. Okay? And the sun's over here on this side. We're just going to put a little bit of highlights on these limbs, not a lot. A lot of it's going to be hidden. All right. Now, let's start tapping in. I got to go get my best brush. Be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I hope you're enjoying this painting. Let me get this up to where you can see the painting a little better. I'll even scoot it up to where you can see the painting better. Now, hopefully you can see that. I covered up most of the stuff. There we go. Now we're going to try to tap in some trees, but we're going to use our shadow color first. Okay? And then we'll highlight those shadows. And I realize there's people watching, and I know you can do this better than me. That's okay. Now we're going to start tapping in, and we'll start down here. And what we're going to try to do is the trees that's back under this bridge first. That's on a hill on back there somewhere. Okay? So we'll get that out of the way. And they will be a little bit dimmer than the trees that we're going to put in the forefront. They were going to be a little bit lighter. They're just showing through in this bridge. We're almost done. Not got much longer to go. Hope you've enjoyed this. This will all come together pretty soon. You're going to see. It's going to come together, and you will be so happy. I need to be a little bit darker than that right down here. Need to be a little darker because we will put some things on these. Remember me telling you there'll be stuff over here? So let's tap in some tree leaves over here. We got some trees that comes out like this. And I think we got a big tree that goes up like this here. And we'll put him in there. We don't want to hide everything though. But we will cover up some stuff, but let some stuff show through. Okay? Now, we got that side. And remember, in painting, you want to always pull back or you will get out of control. That's the number one rule. Pull yourself back. Don't let yourself just get all freaked out. Okay, we'll put some leaves on this tree here for right now. Okay? And we will doctor this tree up a little as we go along. Put a little right in the middle here. Trees always have a little center section where they have stuff that's hid. We'll highlight all this here after a while. We always like to put a few little sticking out. You always want to go a little above where you're at. So I hope you guys are hanging in there with me. We'll finish darkening this up down here. Tapping this in underneath the bridge. This is trees that are back under the bridge. All right. This is all really just shadows down here. And we will put our trees, actual trees, wherever we want. We just got to get these shadows in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap in some foliage over here and start down here in the corner. And this will be to draw our eye in toward the center. Okay? Okay, we want to come up a little bit with some trees right here. You know, some bushes. Maybe a tree, yeah, we'll put a tree top right there. Some limbs coming out. You don't want to hide everything, okay? Come up, we'll hide a little bit right there. We want to let a little of the rocks bleed through the trees, okay? Okay, so now, after we've got all this, we're going to start highlighting now on these trees. Okay. Now, let's find us a really, really beautiful highlight color. We're going to make this autumn, so there's going to be some, we're going to start out with reds, okay? We'll start out with reds and work our way brighter till we get to yellow. So we're going to start out with crimson, and then we're going to go to orange, then to yellows. So we're going to use that same thing we was using. Put our crimson is going to be our shadow color. Okay? I'm going to need to run in and get a paper towel. Now, I've got a little Australian Shepherd who is absolutely crazy over me, but he usually is all over this. For some reason, he's been real good today. Some reason. He's not out here. Now, so let's go up here. We're going to put some crimson colors in on these trees, but we will actually be coming back and highlighting right over them with orange, and we'll keep building. We'll keep building till we get out. And you want to, like I told you before, try not to overdo it. My number one problem is not drawing back enough. But this is going to give us a really incredible color splash for these trees. And make this painting really pop. Because when you're colorblind like me, the problem is you're colorblind to red. You're a red-green colorblind person. So I don't see green like you guys do. I don't see green like you do. So this makes me very frustrated, very unhappy. Also, I was going to tell you, when you're tapping in this foliage, and you get down here in a bush, let's say, you want to keep your colors compacted or they won't show out. You don't want to spread the color out too much or it won't show up. Like this. You want to make it show up, because we're going to put, when we highlight, each time we go on this to highlight, we soften up a little more each time. So you've got your shadow color in the background showing through, then your medium range color, and then your top color. So everything gets to show through. And we'll go over here and touch this one up. And I apologize for getting in front of the camera. But this is going to set this right out back here. Blow your mind. I hope you can still see this. All right. Now we're popping. Now we're popping. Yeah. Now we're doing it. You wait till we start highlighting these things. It will blow your freaking mind. It does mine, because I can't even see it like you can. I can't see it like you can, but now what we're going to do here is we're going to hit these trees in the back here on these hills. Okay? Just lightly. Because they're so far away, we don't really want to do too much on them. But we will hit them just a little, just to give you a sense that there's something back there, okay, going on. We'll just hit these lightly, and then we'll go back and touch them up a little. And that will give us something to work with when we start highlighting back there. The reason I love this brush right here is you can turn it different ways and it will work for you. Yes, it's a big brush, but man, this thing is incredible. There we go. There we go. Now, let's get down here and start highlighting underneath. And I know this is a lot of red, so don't get scared, okay? It'll all start making sense after a while, okay? Just hang in there with me and let's get this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Man, this is so much fun for me. I hope you're having fun. We're going to start hitting these trees under the bridge now. And what we want to do is we're going to leave what they call dead spaces. Okay? We're not going to just hit everything down here. We're going to leave dead spaces. to keep going back and loading your brush up. This brush gives you really good looking trees. Look, foliage. Real good looking tree foliage. Now here in this part of the area of the state of Kentucky, in the Natural Bridge area, there's not a lot of pine trees down there. It's mostly oaks, hardwoods. We're the hardwood forest, okay? So it's hardwoods. And you don't want to be stingy with your paint. Like I was telling you earlier, we're painting with acrylics and they dull. What I usually do when I'm painting with acrylics is I will go back, spray over top of the painting, and paint oils over top of these acrylics and highlight. I'm not highlighting right now. I'm just going over because I know all this got dull. And I have to watch myself or I will make huge mistakes, just like you, by overdoing it. You got to leave that negative space. By varying, in nature, everything's varied. There's nothing, everything is just coming up and competing. So it's varied. And where this is, right here in Natural Bridge, it's, these trees I'm painting in here right now, this is really high up. These are way down 1,000 foot. These trees are really, really tall. They're really tall trees. Because down there, it's a state forest, it's a park, so they protect all that. And they don't let nobody come in and log, so it's very old, and it was like one of the very first state parks in Kentucky. So it's protected. And these trees was able to grow fairly tall. All right. Okay. Now, we're going to start highlighting our trees with orange. So I've got Harvest Orange here, okay? This is what I look like, in case anybody wants to know. I'm just an old hillbilly here in Kentucky. I'm nothing to brag about. I'm just an ordinary guy. Oh, man. But you're going to start seeing incredible magic happening now. We're going to have us a lot of fun here, okay? We're going to start up here on this tree that we was working on earlier. It's dried and it's ready to receive some highlight. Here's where you have to pull back. Okay? We don't want to overdo it with any of this. You want to still be able to see your reds under there. See how that's popping? Isn't that fun? That is incredible that you can do that. Now what I'm actually doing there to give it that look, I touch it and I kind of pull back and drag. That gives me that oak look. Maple or oak tree look. Oh yeah, this is so much fun. I love this. I eat this stuff for breakfast. Because I'm just an old hillbilly. That's gorgeous. I don't care what anybody says. That is gorgeous. I just thank God. I just thank God that I wasn't such a big chicken that I wouldn't try this. See, as that dries, it starts changing. Even though I just did it. Like I said, in nature, everything is competing. And this orange, even though I'm putting it on there and it looks awesome and everything, you're going to be amazed at how dull that will get. We're going to hit this back here in the forest on these hills. I hope you're enjoying this. Like I am. I'm having a blast. See, when stuff is more condensed and far away, it almost looks like a solid color. As you get closer is when you start seeing detail. Okay, so we're going to get down here, but what we're going to do now, where this is under this bridge, kind of being shadowed, I'm not going to let it get real bright. Even though I'm putting it on right now and it looks incredibly bright, and we're just going to hit a few of these because they're just sort of not the main thing. Okay, so we don't want this to take all the attention away from up here on the bridge. We'll hit a few of these and then we'll quit. And then we'll go back to highlighting with more of a yellow color. So I got to finish these. Oh, baby. That's awesome. That is incredible. I love painting. I get on a high. I'm going to tell you the truth. When I started doing this today, I wasn't real sure I was going to be able to do it. That's the beauty of painting. Even though I've done 100 paintings probably, I still, because I'm colorblind, still kind of doubt myself. And so when I get started, I'm kind of nervous. But after I get into it, the fear starts going away. Now I'll tell you a secret about these trees that works for me. You see how I'm starting at the bottom? And I can make my shape a little bit better by starting at the bottom. And I can bring this tree out, because trees are bigger at the bottom, okay? So sometimes when I start at the top, I'll get carried away and my tree doesn't look that good. And some of you all that's been following me for a few years, you've seen all my mistakes. Like I said, don't get carried away and hide your red. Okay? You don't want to hide your red color. You want it to still be on there. All right. How's it looking there, folks? Now we're going to go to yellow. Okay? Going to yellow. So let me select a really good, I got neon yellow here. Here's cad yellow. What do you think? Anybody out there watching? Guess we'll go with cad yellow. Let's see what I got over here. Brillo, we don't want to use that. Moon yellow. I don't know if moon yellow, that's real dull. We'll try this. Alright, we'll go back over here because this is all dried. Do this first. And we're not going to get carried away. Okay? We're just going to pop these trees with this. Just going to give them some pop. We want to be able to see those other colors. Because we're in the early stages of the trees to change. Okay? Yeah, boy, that's starting to look good. It's really starting to look good. Because the sun is coming in, I want to hit these just a little extra here and give them some pop. The only way you can make this show up is you have to, when you're highlighting, in the area you're highlighting, you have to stay in that area just a little bit, make it group together, okay? Now, it kind of looks like some lights coming in and hitting that. That's what we want. We want it to pop with lights. There we go. Now we give it a little bit of a... We'll do that, all these trees, just on the outside part. Oh yeah, starting to look pretty good, kids. I love to do this. This is so much fun for old Dad. Sure is. Appreciate anybody that's tuned in, or if you've caught it later. Okay? You might catch it later on a replay. I appreciate you caring enough to watch me do this. And see, that sets these trees out from this down here. We will hit these just very, very slightly. Not very much. Just like this. Just to give you a sense that something's going on down there. And they're changing also. We'll make it look like the sun is hitting these parts right here. That's out beyond the bridge. The center here. We'll keep these corners dark. And we're just about done here. Hope you enjoyed this. Really hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to hit this little hill out here one more time in the far distance. Right here. All right, here we go. We're going to hit these little trees right here. That's out over here in this woods. Then we're going to quit. And I hope you enjoyed this. It's not a masterpiece, but it was fun to do. So God bless you, and I'll get you up here and let you see it up close. And hope you tune back in again. We'll paint one maybe tomorrow. It's Natural Bridge, Kentucky by Jeff Parker. So, thanks for watching. Well, I'm trying to get this baby to shut down.